welcome to the Geneva International Motor Show. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. I'm going to be doing individual videos on a few cars that have just been launched and an overview of the show. If that sounds good, keep watching to the end for a full view on the Geneva International Motor Show. So this is the first look at the facelifted Spring. We've actually never seen the Spring in the UK yet, but this one will be coming to the UK. 137 miles officially of range, so it's not a massive range, but it's for town car city. This is going to start from around £16,000 in the UK, so it's going to be really affordable, and that's what it's designed for, is nipping around cities. It's not the most quality car in the world or safe. It is about just getting transport. So think of it as like a Citroen Ami, just a little bit better, if that makes sense. There is two different power outputs, 45 horsepower or 60. So it's again not fast, it's for a town or city car. I'll take you inside now. You've got the plastic steering wheel in this one, the same screen as on the Duster, which looks quite modern for a small car. It's very similar to what you'd think of the Volkswagen e-Up or the Seat Me Electric, that sort of thing. That's how it sort of compares. They're not in production anymore, so it will be the cheapest electric car available. Of course, used electric cars, there's a plethora at a good price, so that is also another good option. But this is an interesting option for hire companies, leasing, and if you want that brand new vehicle. You can see it is very basic with like your manual mirror adjustment, your plastic steering wheel, etc. But it just is a no-frills electric car. It doesn't pretend to be really premium or luxurious or anything like that. It is just very basic, and it definitely looks a whole lot better than the pre-facelift model, which didn't come to the UK. This one though, like I say, will be coming to the UK.
Can produce like exclusive content for you.
Yeah. Exactly, yes, yeah. Doing a first look at like the Renault 5, planning on doing one on the MG3 because that's a big car in the UK, so things like that, yeah.
So like a walk around,
yeah.
And then one video for one car.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an objective for you to be an influencer full time.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
It's a family thing.
Yeah.
You're here helping.
I'm just here carrying his camera and helping him out.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you. This is the Renault 5 EV in pop green, and it looks really bright and vibrant. Really nice that manufacturers are being quite experimental with the colours. You've got these squares and squares in the lights, even a little French flag. Really pays tribute to the old Renault 5 whilst putting it into the future. So lots of sort of retro but modern. Think the Fiat 500, Volkswagen Beetle, that sort of vibe. Have a feeling it's going to be a cult following this car. This is the midnight blue, and I think it looks excellent on the Renault 5. Definitely my favourite. You've got these really sporty looking side skirts, and all the alloy wheels are 18 inches, which look really great. There's a few different motor and battery options from 95 to 150 horsepower. So they've not gone crazy with it, and they're all front wheel drive, which is excellent as well. It has died down a bit now, so the perfect time to check out the Renault 5 in the pop yellow colour. I think this is my favourite. I can't decide between this or midnight blue. You've got this metallic red stripe here as well, which you can have in different colours. So inside the Renault 5 electric now, and this is the pop yellow with the yellow interior. It's really cool, looks great. You've got this sporty steering wheel, centre touchscreen here. Climate controls are all physical, really sporty. I love this stitched dash as well. They've done a great job. You've also got electronic handbrake now, which makes sense for an electric car instead of having a normal handbrake, which some other budget vehicles have got. I'm really loving the look of this. You've got this really cool square headliner as well. It looks great. Wireless charging, some more storage, a little bin. Just a lot of cool, funky elements, and they're definitely bringing the fun back into cars. I love it. It looks great. Only thing, I'm not a huge fan of the gear selector being up here. It's very sort of Mercedes-esque how that is. So, you know, it's, yeah. You can actually change this, so you can have it different, like, they've made that customizable, which is quite cool. It's something you get used to, and your indicator switches and wipers are down here. It is cheap and cheerful electric motoring, and that was Renault's goal with it. It looks excellent. Going to the back, they've put the rear concealed door handles now, which I really like. You don't have a massive amount of room back here, but you do have quite a bit of headroom as it's quite a boxy shape. And I do really like the fun elements, like the yellow being brought inside into the interior. It's really nice. I really like this 5 detailing on the seats. Just adds to the look of the car. I'm standing outside the original Renault 5 now, and you can really see the new one takes a lot of inspiration from the design, especially the shape here at the back, the rear lights, and on the newer models of the Renault 5, so 80s, 90s, they've got more lights like the new electric one. So loads of styling cues. I'm really excited about the new Renault 5. And if you weren't already impressed by Renault, their electric Scenic has now just won Car of the Year. So out of a panel of cars, there was quite a few finalists, and this is the winner of that award. So you've got the new Renault 5, all sorts of Rafale, and really exciting. And then this is the Car of the Year for 2024. Interesting that they brought the Scenic name back. MPVs aren't traditionally very popular now, it's all about SUVs, but they've made it look cool. In terms of interiors, Renault has come such a long way. You've got this nice steering wheel, don't like the gear shift placement, I've said that before. But yeah, you can understand it's kind of not fussy, but it does everything. It's still quite wow. I'm not as wowed by it perhaps as some of the other contenders, but it does look like a great vehicle and huge improvement from what we're used to from Renault in previous years. It looks great. This is the Esprit Alpine model as well, which is now Renault's sporty version of cars. And Scenic is spelled across there. Definitely by far the best looking Renault Scenic ever made. And we're on the Car of the Year stand. There's 8 cars of finalists. We're going to have a little look at some of the contenders. This is actually my first look of many of these cars on the stand, so it's quite exciting to see these at the show. This is the i5 M60, so essentially like an M5 but electric. And this came second place. This is pretty cool, to be honest. We've got this curved monitor, which is pretty much unlike any other car, and of course massive performance out of this vehicle. It's crazy, the figures are mad. This is the BYD seal, really competent. BYD seems to have come out of nowhere, but it actually hasn't. It's been around for a little bit, and they were actually manufacturing phones for a long time, and they still are. Batteries, they make batteries for many electric cars, but now they're actually making cars, which is really exciting to see. And they've got a whole range now, which looks great. This is the BYD seal, so it's sort of a Tesla Model 3 ID.7 sort of rival, so it looks really good. This light blue is something as well that we're seeing from a lot of manufacturers, which I really like. You've got this tail light bar and a saloon shape. A saloon shape isn't massively popular, but the BYD seal seems to be impressing so many people. Hopefully they're going to bring an estate version like the ID.7. That would do so well in Europe. I can imagine that just selling like hotcakes. You've got this little electric tailgate. You've got cable storage under here, and then you've got your tyre inflation kit there as well. Really well done. I'll take you inside now. The front, got Dyne Audio sound system. These square digital dials here remind me a lot of the MG4, so they're completely square. Of course, that is much cheaper for them to make that rather than a curved one or anything like that. I do prefer it to be a bit more integrated into the design. You've got the heads-up display here. You've got, of course, the classic BYD screen, which turns. Something that is really clever technology. It's huge as well. You can see this one's got 360-degree cameras, and you can have it in portrait, or you can have it in landscape, and then it flips like an iPad. Everything feels really good and quality, and it doesn't feel like a Chinese brand. It is very European feeling, and that is why it's done so well, and it continues to. I'm really excited to see what BYD are going to be doing in the coming years. Didn't expect it to be this nice in the back especially. All this stitching is beautiful. You've got a pull-out armrest, so much leg room, loads of headroom. So nice, it's limousine-like in the back of here. You've got a flat floor because of the batteries. I'm so impressed by this brand, and it's really nice that Europe have taken on a Chinese brand so well. BYD has been really well received, and for good reasons. BYD have got their full range on display, including the small Dolphin. That's the Seal U SUV, which is the Seal made into an SUV. On pictures I wasn't sure, but in real life it looks really good. And as you can see, it's a Seal basically on steroids. Fully electric. On pictures it doesn't do it justice. In person it looks very like a Porsche Cayenne in my opinion. Inside the BYD Seal U, and it's very like the Seal but higher up. Really nice driving position. Of course, the classic BYD screen again, which turns. BYD are on a roll at the moment. They're making batteries for other manufacturers. The BYD Atto 3 is also present at the show. This has been on UK roads for a fair few months now, but I haven't actually seen that many. At first, I wasn't a huge fan of the design. I don't think it looks as futuristic as the Dolphin or the Seal models, but it has grown on me massively. I really like the upper section with these lights flowing, and I love the range of colours as well. Inside is even funkier. The interior of the Atto 3 is incredible. Just the way it looks is just like no other car on the road. They've been really experimental. I prefer this sort of rounded digital dash there, it's really nice. The dark blue with the orange stitching, comfortable. You've got the aquatic design again, all flowing through. And this is absolutely huge. It's from BYD, but their premium brand, YangWang, and it's the U8. My dad's a huge fan of this. It's massive, and it's a plug-in hybrid as of now. It looks crazy. I doubt this will be coming to UK roads. You can't quite pick it up on camera. It's absolutely a massive SUV. This is the Lucid Gravity SUV from the American brand Lucid, who are famous for the Air, the really luxurious saloon type car, and this is the SUV, slightly raised up with more interior space. This is the new MG3 Hybrid Plus model. Really interesting powertrain actually. It's 191 PS. That's 0 to 62 in just 8 seconds, which is really good. Pretty impressive time. MG say it's a true fun car. It's a 1.5 litre normal hybrid self-charging, 3-speed automatic, so I suspect it'll be CVT with the simulated gears, but really interesting to see what this will be like to drive. This one is finished in Battersea Blue, which looks excellent, and you can just see how far MG has come. You can do loads of different drive modes as well, including EV. Both looks a lot better than the previous model. You can see it's grown in size as well. There'll be an SE and a trophy model for the UK, so 2 different trims. Taking a look inside MG's most budget vehicle, and it doesn't feel budget, it feels very like the MG4. These seats are a little bit firmer than MG4 seats though. So you've got the same wheel as an MG4 steering wheel. You've got the little digital dash square. It is a budget vehicle, but it doesn't necessarily feel it. You've got a dark headline in this trophy model, so it's a bit dark. The way they've designed it is great. This has been done in Shanghai, the whole interior and exterior, whereas previous MG models, the exterior was designed in the UK and the interior was designed in Shanghai. This whole car has been designed in Shanghai, and it's kind of better for it. This is your drive selector, same as on an MG4 or 5. The rear of the MG3 is a lot wider now. It's definitely got more than a bit of inspiration from Mazda, which we used to see on the front grills of the car. Now you can see on the rear lights, etc. Looks really great. You've got the Hybrid Plus badge here, as that's what the car is. Good centre space. Of course, it's not going to be like 100 jazz with your magic seats and everything like that. But I think this will be good for someone that wants hybrid, but they want to have what MG say it's going to be fun to drive. We'll wait and see. But 8 seconds 0 to 60 is pretty impressive, and it is quite a nice design car. So inside the Cyberster now, you've got these crazy doors. It does really take you back to the old MGs. I mean, it's much nicer than a TF, of course. I've driven a TF, and you'd hope it would be nicer, but you do have those sort of feel of that car being so low down and just having that sporty steering wheel driving position. This dash is excellent. You've got proper door mirrors, but you've got these sort of different side bits on it, a normal rear mirror as well. Your roof controls are all really easy access here. Right, let's put the roof on. You have to hold it down. This is really exciting though, an electric convertible vehicle. Once you've got that top on there, it should be pretty refined like any sort of Mercedes soft top when you put it on. You've got this grab handle here if the passenger's feeling a bit scared. The visors with the lights there. Just like a little iPad case, really premium. Now, if you'd have said 4 or 5 years ago that MG is going to come back and they're going to be a premium electric brand, I don't think many people would believe you, but this car really does show that. Oh, I'm opening the doors. I'm going to open the roof now. I think this is going to be really exciting when it comes to the UK in the summer. So the front of the Cyberster has got a very menacing look. It looks incredible and obviously clear inspiration from the classic MG convertible roadster model. So nice to see this electrified. I'm loving all these retro design cues being brought onto new EVs. This looks incredible and really exciting for MG. A car which has really impressed me at the show is the MG7. It's a really lovely fastback. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's coming to the UK, but it looks like a great car and it's available as a petrol turbo. Inside as well, it really shows what MG is capable of, and it does have that British feel, especially in British racing green. And on the MG stand, we've got the IM cars, which stand for Intelligent Mobility, and that's the more luxury MG brand. It is actually going to be coming to the UK in 2025, so next year, and this is the L6, which has been confirmed for the European market. So you can see it's a BYD seal sort of rival. I'm not sure about this colour, and it's got some really funky wheels. This is the IM7. As you can see, it's a huge limousine style car. The rear looks really Aston Martin-like to me, and then the front looks very Polestar and Hyundai. I really love the look of the front of this car, and the front of this is really almost Lexus actually coming from this angle. It looks really cool. I do like it. I think it's really impressive. Really impressive what we're seeing from Chinese manufacturers. Again, I mentioned in my podcast as well what we've seen from other manufacturers. Xiaomi with their SU7 and producing really impressive vehicles. From this angle, I really think the car gives a Lexus look. So it's giving me Lexus, Polestar, Hyundai, all kind of merged into one, and Aston Martin to make this IM. Of course, it is its own car, but you always kind of compare the cars to make it make sense. I like the front definitely more than the back, and the wheels are really interesting designs. This steering wheel is insane, like big panel with these pads here. Feels very Hyundai to me. It's like the Nexo, the hydrogen power car. It looks like that inside. Massive screens. This has got even like footrest for you to be in the back to relax. You've got this massive panoramic windscreen, which is crazy. Again, this is actually a car that's already really popular in China and is being sold. So the fact that this is the future, as it says, is now, is crazy. This is a car that is on the road that people are using. Crazy. And the back of the IML7 is very S-Class like. You've got the electric seats, which are adjusting now, this section here. You can recline them. Your armrest flips down like that. Really luxurious. So I'm on the Totem stand. The Geneva Motor Show isn't all about electric cars. This is like a resto mod car. So it's a brand new car, of course, Alfa Romeo. This has got a 2.8 litre turbocharged V6 with 810 brake horsepower. Absolutely insane. Looks incredible. Perfect for petrol heads. And of course, you can see the Italian heritage in this car, and you can still enjoy a brand new vehicle. And this is the Totem GT Super. It looks so cool. This has got a 6-speed manual gearbox. Just really nice. It's a classic car, but it's brand new. It is incredible. This paintwork is absolutely beautiful as well, with the gold wheels. It's so nice. I then had a really interesting conversation with head of production Davide Dante from Totem Automobili. It was really interesting to hear all about the car. Unfortunately, my microphone died, so I couldn't pick it up. I did also speak to Riccardo Quaggio, who is the CEO of Totem Automobili. It was really interesting speaking to these two guys. It really is a bespoke car still. They make around one per month, and they cost around 500,000 euros each. The car that I was standing next to is actually a sold unit, which was going over to be shipped over to America. They were just doing the finishing touches on it, and then it was ready to go. So interesting. They have an electric platform. They also have petrol, and just a really interesting brand. He was saying that they have a vocal agreement with Alfa Romeo themselves. Really interesting to hear, and just a beautiful, beautiful car. I was so annoyed that the interview didn't pick up because the microphone died, but hopefully that summarizes that well. And of course, they're both very welcome to join me on a podcast episode at any time. It would be great to further speak about this amazing brand. And we're now on the Dacia stand, and I never thought I'd be excited about a Duster. I was never really a huge fan, but it's clear to see, as well as Renault progressing, Dacia is also progressing, and I'll show you around this Duster now. One key difference on the new Duster is the rear concealed door handles. Really like that Renault Groupe are doing this. As always, the Nissan Juke's had it for a long time, but this is really nice. Opens out, and then you still have that 5-door practicality. In the back of the Duster, not a massive amount of space, but you do have space, quite a lot of headroom, and quite comfortable, to be honest. Would be a good practical family vehicle. In the front of the Duster, and so much better than previously, you've got the Renault buttons, so like the old ones. So they always are using old Renault sort of designs and then putting them in the Dacia range. This one is a 6-speed manual gearbox with a new 1.3 turbocharged petrol. Feels a little notchy, but I obviously have to drive it properly to see how that feels. And it's an electronic handbrake on the side, much like what you'd get in a Volvo or Mercedes. Of course, you've got some harder plastics. It feels quite van-like, but nothing awful, and it's kind of what you'd expect, if not better, definitely better than the previous model. You've got this little armrest. It also has some really fun little Easter eggs and features, so have a look at this. On the windscreen, it's got a little Duster there, and it looks great. The screen is positioned towards the driver on this European one, which hopefully that'll be swapped over. I think it should be for the UK car. You can see it's got a little recycling badge here, and that's because it's got this new material that Dacia called Starkle, which has got 20% recycled plastic in it. They're going for their sustainable feel with the cars. These nice diamond core 18-inch alloys look really great as well. It is also on the CMFB platform that underpins cars like the Renault Clio, Nissan Juke, as well as the new Renault 5 electric as well. So it's a really interesting platform that can accommodate electric, hybrid and petrol powertrains. And this is the 140 hybrid. So it's going to have 2 electric gears and 4 mechanical gears, 1.6 litre naturally aspirated petrol engine. This is the Dacia Sandrider concept, a huge 4x4 off-road buggy thing, and it says here enters Dakar Rally Raid from 2025. So you can see it does look very like that sort of rally-esque electric ones, and yeah, it doesn't look anything like a Dacia really, but just interesting, of course, to see one of them wacky concept cars that you don't see a lot, and it is actually going to be a car that will be used for motorsport. So that's a wrap on my Geneva International Motor Show review, going around all the stands. I will be doing individual videos on some of the cars as well, so keep an eye out in the coming days for those, because it's very exciting. I'm so happy to have been and attended this. Thank you to my dad for being my cameraman for the day. It's been a really great day. It's totally worth early morning getting up. If you do like new car reviews, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload a new video, so I can do more things like this. It's so exciting. I've also started a podcast that I'm doing bi-weekly as well, so if you're interested, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next videos all about the Geneva Motor Show.